Hello there, I'm Grimith, and I am excited to bring you a long-awaited Let's Get On With It adventure, heralded in the Descent FreeSpace series back in 2015. This is Let's Get On With It, FreeSpace 2. I first played this game thanks to an abandonware site called Home of the Underdogs. Picked up FreeSpace 2 back in the aughts, didn't have many of the media files associated with it, just the nuts and bolts, the gameplay. Played it several times afterward. Most recently in college. I was pretty damn good at this game, even without a joystick. That was back when I was younger and my wrists worked a bit different. My eyes fully functioned. This game is set a few decades after the events of Descent FreeSpace. I believe it's 32 years? I am playing this game using FreeSpace Open. I will provide a link in the video description. I will not provide technical assistance. Relatively easy to set up. This was done for recording convenience, and along the way I've ticked on some graphical modifications. I'll also provide a link to my series of the original game. Yeah, when I first played this video game, I didn't have any of these video files or voice clips in the dialogue during missions. The first time I got to see those. Oh, hey, it is 32 years later. How about that? Damn exciting.
32 years have passed since the Great War. The Shivans vanished half a lifetime ago. And now, we live in the mausoleum of history. We inherit the legacy of ghosts who haunt these ruins. The elders call us the Lost Generation. I remember stories of a glorious civilization, of cities with spires that reached the sun, of a blue planet with vast seas, of people with myths of humanity everlasting, of children who saw in the embers of dying stars the destiny of their race. And they hurled themselves into the void of space with no fear. They say our people have no present, only a past filled with horror. And a future they can only dream of. Now we forge a new alliance to guard the tomb of space and find within its cold expanse the salvation of our race.
I hadn't watched the intro video for more than a few seconds as part of my testing for the recording of this series. I got goosebumps there. Kinda stoked. Let's go ahead and type Grimith instead of call sign, like an asshole. One note about using FreeSpace open, the loading and transitions lag a little bit. Rather than spending time trying to suss that out, I just thrust myself into the gameplay, and that all looks smooth and works well. Options here, I am playing with keyboard and mouse. Difficulty, this game wants to have that shit on easy by default. We're putting that on hard. Very hard. Insane. We'll just say I don't want to put forth all the time to be able to play competently at that skill level. Here's good, and I'll tone it down if I end up having too much trouble with a mission. All the other settings are on their defaults. It's a new profile. Though I don't think this will matter so much as the settings I've given for the launcher. While I'm in here, I'll also go ahead and go to ship. We'll invert this, just for the sake of my convenience. And HUD? Nah, we'll leave that alone. This episode is going to be about the training videos. We will launch into the missions proper next time. Humans and Vasudans. I'll use this one. I like this one the most. Looks good. Let's get cracking. Story time.
Welcome to Vega, Ensign. I'm Lieutenant Lukakis, squadron leader of the 53rd Hammerheads. You've been assigned to our unit. The Hammerheads are a space superiority squadron. We'll be flying the Myrmidon fighter, developed to replace the old GTF Ulysses. The Myrmidon is a Terran Vasudan design and a versatile ship with high marks for speed, maneuverability, armor, and loadout. The 53rd Hammerheads were formed during the Great War. At the time, we served on board the GTD Bastion, the finest ship in the history of Terran space travel. You may not know this, but the pilots who destroyed the ST Lucifer in 2335 were based on the Bastion, and some were even Hammerheads. With the 53rd, you're part of a long and proud tradition. When the explosion of the Lucifer collapsed the jump node to the Sol system and severed all contact with Earth, Command transferred the Bastion to the 4th Fleet in Vega. Since then, we've called Vega our home. Now Command has decommissioned the Bastion and reassigned its squadrons to the newer Hecate destroyers. We'll be joining the GTD Aquitaine, flagship of the 3rd Fleet, Capella. The Aquitaine will be here in 36 hours. In the meantime, it would be advisable to review your training. We have all the simulator modules you'll need for the Myrmidon fighter. These modules will give you a refresher course on such basics as your head-up display, throttle controls, and targeting. If you need to review your training, now would be a good time to do so. Because this is your first combat assignment, you'll be authorized to carry the standard armaments. The Subak HL-7, the Tempest Dumbfire, and the Rockeye heat-seeking missile. These weapons are covered in the training modules and in the tech room database. As you gain experience in combat, you will be authorized to use more advanced weaponry. Good luck, pilot, and welcome again to the 53rd.
Just remembered that,
Affirmative.
My settings for sound balancing would have been changed, because there's a new profile.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103C, Class C qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with basic targeting, throttle, and weapon systems. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training.
Okay. Can't change our ship or weapon. We can skip these training scenarios if we so choose. Let's get right into it.
Welcome to Module TSM-103C, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. The first function you will learn is targeting. In the lower left-hand corner of your HUD is your target view. The top lines display the targeted ship's name and class. The next line shows the distance to your target and its speed. Note the brackets around my ship indicating I am your current target. As I fly out of view, the off-screen indicator will display. It points in the direction you must turn in order to face your target. The indicator moves as I fly around. It is always pointing at your target. Notice how the triangles separate. The farther apart they are, the farther you'll have to turn to face your target.
This will help explain what you're
note
watching.
The number by the indicator. This is the distance to your target. The circular gauge near the bottom of your HUD is the radar. Friendly ships are shown in green. Hostile ships appear in red. Ships directly in front of you appear in the radar center. Using your main flight controller, turn your ship toward mine. Stop when my ship is in your center red. Good. Now stay in that position. Now turn toward my ship again. Match my speed. Good. Now follow me. Note how your speed automatically changes to match mine. To the left of the reticle is the speed gauge. The capital M next to the current speed indicates that you are matching speed with your target. Now, I want you to accelerate and move to within 125 meters of me. Do not collide with my ship. Good. Now, decelerate to drop 200 meters behind me.
Not too good at using the AZ commands.
Well done. Now, let's practice using the Afterburner. Engage your Afterburner, pilot. The gauge to the left of your speed gauge displays remaining Afterburner power. Note that your engines consume it rapidly. That extra speed is useful for quick, evasive maneuvers and closing large distances. Maintain your maximum top speed. Try it now.
Wanted to boost to get to my top speed, but I went over.
Now, bring your fighter to a complete stop. Drone 1 has jumped in. Target it. Good. Now fly within 100 units of it and come to a stop. Be careful not to fly too fast. Well done. Note that it takes some time to come to a complete stop. Now fire your primary weapon at Drone 1. Hit near the center of your HUD. The hull integrity of your target is displayed. Notice that it has dropped from 100%. This information is also available in the upper right corner of your target view. Now, destroy Drone 1. Good job. Let's see how quickly you can destroy these new drones.
My other shot of the Subak was going over the drone.
Destroy them with your Subak HL7. The HL7 is standard issue on all Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighters.
It's okay if we take damage, it's just a tutorial, right? It's a simulation, we're good.
Well done. This concludes Module TSM-103C.
Yippee.
Most sorties will end with an order to return to base. Do not leave the field of engagement until you have been authorized to do so. Your navigation computer will be programmed with the proper coordinates. All you need to do is engage your subspace drive. Do this now.
You can linger longer than you're supposed to get some extra dialogue and see some extra interaction. You can also go earlier than you're supposed to be scolded.
Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-103C Class C qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. You may now proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM-103B.
Scolded would not be an accurate assessment of what actually happens to you, but... Court-martialed and/or killed. There we go. We have no recommendations for you. Yippee. Somehow, I accomplished the tasks. But wait, there are more tasks ahead of us.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103B Class B qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with advanced targeting controls, weapon systems, and rearming procedures. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training.
Welcome to Module TSM-103B, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully.
Okay.
Begin by targeting my fighter. In combat, you will need to acquire your targets quickly. With multiple wings and warships, you will not have time to cycle through all objects in sensor range to find a specific target. Let's take a look at some controls that will help you locate targets more efficiently. 2 drones will be used for the first part of this exercise. You have a targeting control which enables you to acquire the nearest hostile target. Using the control repeatedly will cycle through hostile targets in order of their proximity. Target Drone 1 with your hostile targeting control. Good. Now target Drone 2. Excellent. Now we'll learn another useful targeting control. As a GTVA fighter pilot, you will be called upon to defend larger vessels, from troop transports to destroyer-class warships. For this simulation, let's bring in a Triton-class freighter. Observe that the name and hull integrity of the freighter appears in the box to the right of your reticle. This escort list enables you to monitor its status. You can target ships on your escort list by using the escort targeting control. Target the freighter. Well done. On any escort mission, it is important that you stay close to vessels you have been assigned to protect. The escort targeting control makes locating these ships more efficient. Be advised, the escort list will not be limited to ships you have been ordered to protect. Any major target, friendly or hostile, could appear on that list. This will help you monitor the status of ships with tactical or strategic importance.
It's a little out of the way of the rest of
Let's
my
review
info.
what we've covered so far.
Monitor size and all that. A hurdle.
Target Drone 1 with your hostile targeting control. Now, target Drone 2. Now, target the freighter with your escort target. Well done.
I'll probably be
In
fine.
Module TSM-103C, you practice firing your HL-7. We'll now take a closer look at your primary and secondary weapons.
I won't be fine, but that won't be my hurdle.
Your weapons loadout is displayed to the right of your reticle. Primary cannons are listed above your secondary missile banks. Use your primary weapon selector to toggle either one or both cannons to fire. Firing both the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter has 3 missile banks. As a new pilot, you will be authorized to use the Tempest Dumbfire and the Rockeye Heat Seeker. Let's practice firing the Tempest. Use your secondary weapon selector to arm your bank of Tempest missiles. Good. Tempests are dumbfire projectiles. These warheads have no homing system, so they'll fly in the direction in which they are fired. For this reason, they are most effective at close range. Unless your aim is very precise, hitting targets at a distance with a Tempest may be difficult. Now, select Drone 1 using your hostile target. Good. Destroy Drone 1 with your Tempest missiles. Close your distance if you need to. Well done. The Tempest may not be as accurate as a heat or aspect-seeking missile, but a Myrmidon can carry up to 320 of these missiles. A volley of Tempests will quickly pulverize an enemy fighter. To maximize their effectiveness, use them in conjunction with your Subak HL7. While the lasers penetrate the shields of your target, the missiles will impact the enemy's hull. Let's move on to the Rockeye Heatseeker. Arm the Rockeye with your secondary weapon selector. Well done. Now target Drone 2. When you fire the Rockeye, the missile's tracking system will lock onto the heat signature of your target. Be aware the homing radius of the Rockeye is limited, and your target must be near the center of your HUD. Destroy Drone 2 using your Rockeye missiles. Nice shooting, pilot. Compared to the Tempest, the Rockeye is more accurate and has a greater effective range. However, the Myrmidon can carry no more than 20 Rockeyes. You can also toggle double fire mode to launch twice the ordnance. You will inflict more damage and increase your... We will now send in more drones so you can practice firing missiles. Be sure to toggle between banks so you can get a feel for both the Tempest and the Rockeye. When you run low on missiles, you need to rearm your fighter. To do this, you must call in a support ship.
Yep.
First, press the communications key to bring up your mech. In order for the support ship to dock, you must bring your fighter to a complete stop. The support ship will then automatically dock with you. In the lower portion of your HUD, an indicator displays the support ship's ETA.
It can help to get closer to the support ship, but it needs to access your fighter from a certain angle.
Is twofold. First,
you
it
do
will
have to be
reload your
still.
secondary weapons and countermeasures. Second, the support ship is capable of making minor repairs to your ship. It can fully repair any damaged or destroyed subsystem. However, the support ship cannot repair your hull. Keep in mind, a support ship can only load as many weapons as it has on board. It may not be enough to completely rearm your fighter. We covered a lot in this module. If you need to review this material, replay the simulation. Otherwise, you are qualified to proceed to TSM 103A. Engage your subspace drive.
We got one more training thing to do.
Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM 103B Class B
For now, at
qualification
least.
for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. You may now proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM 103A. Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM 103A Class A qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with dogfighting techniques. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA combat
Dogfighting
training
techniques are
program,
going to be a bit...
or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training.
I don't want to say this. Sloppy? Hackneyed? Yeah. Occasionally you're going to hear this as I pick up the mouse. And some of my neat turning things are going to be on the numpad that I haven't yet rebound, and might never do.
Welcome to Module TSM 103A, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. This simulation will cover dogfighting techniques. You will be required to use many of the skills you learned in the preceding modules, such as targeting, matching speed, and primary and secondary weapons control. Begin by targeting my fighter. You can either use your basic target. You'll notice as I move, a circular indicator moves in front of my ship. That is the lead indicator. It shows you where you need to fire your primary weapon to hit your target.
I tried to aim for that.
Now, target the drone. You can use your basic targeting control. The target box in the lower left-hand corner of the HUD displays the distance to and hull integrity of your target. Your target's hull strength is also shown in the lower part of your reticle. As I shoot the drone, watch its hull integrity drop slowly.
When you hit the drone. Thank you. When you... Wait. I can't recall seeing this break before. We're gonna give Mr. Flight Sim Man another chance.
103A, pilot.
I wonder if that's a FreeSpace
Don't touch the controls
open
until
port.
you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully.
A glitch in the software.
This simulation will cover dogfighting techniques.
The simulation software,
You will
that
be
is.
required to use many of the skills you learned in the preceding modules, such as targeting, matching speed, and primary and secondary weapons control. Begin by targeting my fighter. You can either use your basic targeting control, or your friend. You'll notice as I move, a circular indicator moves in front of my ship. That is the lead indicator. It shows you where you need to fire your primary weapon to hit your target.
Yeah, you need to utilize that, instructor.
Now, target the drone. You can use your basic targeting control or your hostile targeting control. The target box in the lower left-hand corner of the HUD displays the distance to and hull integrity of your target. Your target's hull strength is also shown in the lower part of your reticle. As I shoot the drone, watch its hull integrity drop slowly.
There you go.
A good dogfighting tactic is matching speeds with your target. I want you to match speeds with the drone. Good. Your throttle can be set to automatically match the speed of your target, even as your targets change. Use your auto matching control to toggle this feature on or off.
But it exists.
Good. You should be on the move at all times during a dogfight.
I try.
Now, destroy the drone. Don't forget, you also have missiles. Two new unarmed drones have arrived. Destroy both of them. Remember to match their speed.
That will do nothing of the sort.
Target new hostiles is by using auto-targeting.
I do like this.
This will automatically... Good job. This drone is armed. It will start firing upon you in 10 seconds. Destroy it. Now comes the fun part. 5 pairs of armed drones will jump in. Destroy as many as you can.
Destroy as many as you can, like... At some point I'll fail the test. I'll be like, oh, I'm spent. finally. Oh. Miscounted. Ever happened to you before? Collision, we're fine. Don't worry about it.
Great job, pilot. You have successfully qualified on the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. Engage your subspace drive.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-103A, Class A qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter.
I now have my wings. Dun 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 dun. Okay. How long has this been? Half hour? Let's go ahead and break it here. Next time you can get our transition into the first mission, and the first mission proper. See you then.